Hey, it's time Scarp 11 with the last of the drip tier list for Xenoblade 2, this time going over the rare blades. I'm going to keep this to just the actual blade characters, so I'm not going to include the guest characters like Shulk or the Torna drivers, but I will have the Torna blades. So I'll have timestamps for each weapon class. I'm going to be going through all the blades by weapon class, starting with Greataxes. And for once I can actually have a proper tier list image up, so I'll have that at the end, once everything is done. So we'll start off with Telos. Telos is an S tier. She's just so cool looking. I never liked her Xenosaga design, but her Xenoblade 2 design, that is perfect. Fixes everything that I dislike about her Saga design. First off, the black. She's got a lot of black. I love black. It looks a lot better than the kind of ugly purple that she had originally. And the skirt, really like the skirt. Gives her a much better look having that over the leotard instead of just the leotard by itself, especially since it gives her more of an X shape instead of the V shape that she had. Glasses. She looks great with glasses. And you got the cat ear head thing that Cosmos had. I forget if Telos had that also. If she did, it didn't look as good as Cosmos's. Also really like the glowing armor, and when she gets in combat, she gets these wings of light, which are great looking. Telos is S tier. Zenobia. Zenobia is also S tier. She kind of looks like a sea bunny, I never noticed that. So, love the big flared skirt that's, I guess, being kept up by her own wind generation or something. Really like the cape, and the scarf that's just attached to her is so funny. It's just such a funny design to have her with no shirt, but the scarf is physically attached to her. Also, the Gynax pose. You gotta love the Gynax pose that she's constantly in. Dagos. Dagos is like C tier. Just kind of a messy design. I don't like how obnoxious he looks. I mean, it's very fitting for him to look obnoxious. I just don't really care for it. Next up, Gorg. Gorg, solid B tier. He's a JoJo character. He's so weirdly textured compared to everyone else. But just, he's a JoJo character. What else is there to say? Agate, also B tier. Like her design, like the hat, like the, I guess, gemstones that are all over her. Not really a lot to say, just generally pretty design. On to Lances with Wulfric. Wulfric is B tier, but he's the top of B tier. Just very cool monster design. He's so wholesome. Vale. Like, low B tier, she's not bad. She's just kind of boring compared to some of the others. Not really a lot to her besides the cape. Praxis. A tier. I love her bubble pirate design. It's also very funny how it fits with her literally bubbly personality. I mean, her bubbly personality, so she's literally and figuratively bubbly, is what I meant to say. A lot of bubbles. Prune. B tier. I like her 90s aesthetic. Just not as cool as some of the others. I do really like her like split skirt thing. Not sure what you'd call that, if that would be considered a skirt or not. But yeah, just B tier for her. Not much else to say. On to Ether Cannons and Azami. I do not like Azami at all. Her design really creeps me out. I just hate the marionette look. It's not as bad as some of the others. It's just really creeps me out, so D tier. Sheba, S tier. Bathtub mermaid. What a concept. She's just hilarious. I am going to include the bathtub as part of her drip because how can you not? She's always sitting in it. I don't really like the drill hair, but it is funny, so I'm not going to mark her down for that. Her very fancy swimsuit design with the cape on it is also cute and funny. She's very hard to get on camera because of the size of her model with that bathtub. But yeah, Sheba's S tier. She's just hilarious. Cosmos. B tier. Just not really a fan of this design for her. It is no version 4 design that is perfection. It takes some aspects of it, but it's just not as good. Though it does get better when she has the Wings of Light come out in battle, because that gives her the cat ears from Cosmos version 4. If I was rating her on just the base design right here, it would be C tier, but because of the wings and the way her helmet changes when those come out, she gets B tier. I wish they'd made her look more like Cosmos version 4. Last of the Ether Cannons, Herald. S tier, she is a dragon mech. Dragon mech. What else do I need to say? On to shield hammers. And the first is Godfrey. A lot of people already know what I think of Godfrey. F tier. He's so dorky looking and not in an endearing way at all. I'm not going to waste any more time on this. I already did a whole video about why Godfrey is the worst thing in Xenoblade 2. Cassandra. Cassandra's A tier. She's adorable. I love the mummy aesthetic. Just perfectly cute for her. Not the cutest design in all of Xenoblade 2. There is a few blades that are cuter, but she's definitely up there. I mean, she's borderline S tier. I just didn't want to include too many in S tier because she's not quite on the same level as some of the others. Electra, C tier. She's just kind of boring. I don't like her hair. Poppy Buster, A tier. It's a Nopon mech. I love mechs. Also, really reminds me of the mech design from... don't know, what was that movie that Saito had another Mithra-looking character from? I can't remember the name of it. Expelled from Paradise? Was that it? I can't remember, but very similar mech design, so I like that. Finch, S tier, one of the cutest designs in the game, if not the whole series. I mean, some of the cutest designs in the series are all from Xenoblade 2, so yes, one of the cutest designs in the whole series. The only blade I would argue is cuter than her is Ursula, who I'll get to in a bit. But Finch is just perfectly adorable. She's a sweet little bird. Onto Katanas with Percival. I'm not a fan of how they combined samurai and ninja for him. I like my ninjas stealthy and I like my samurais beefy. Just don't like them put together. C tier for Percival. Theory. A tier. I love how spiky she is. Newt. Newt is the single worst design in all of Xenoblade 2. She's much worse than Dahlia. They're both F tier, but Newt is the bottom of F tier. She is so ugly. She's trying to be the Hulk, I guess, combined with military aesthetic, and it just does not work. First of all, if she was going to be Hulk-style character, she should have been green. I don't like her trying to be like the original Hulk that was gray. Her cutout shirt, if you can even call it a shirt, it just looks so stupid. The only thing I do like about her is the weird eye on the back of her head. Other than that, she's abysmal. Just such a stupid design. There were so many ways they could have made it look cool with the same kind of aesthetic. Just awful. Bitballs. Boreas. S tier. He's shaped like a friend. He's so perfect. Look at this thing. Don't you want to hug it even though he's too big to hug? Bess, D tier. If I was rating her just on the costume alone, she would be B tier, but that face is horrifying. Why did they do that? D tier. Florin, B tier. He's cute, he's cool. Like the flower designs. The only thing I don't like about him is the neck thing. Just why? I don't understand. Dahlia. You already know where this is going. F tier. But like I said, not as bad as Newt. She's still terrible. It's more localized than Newt. And I say that because the chest is the least worst thing about her. The hands, feet, very unnatural skin color for just the face and the hair. All much worse. There's so many good Dolly designs that all could have been A or S tier in the art book, and they didn't use any of them. They went with this. This is just a monster. Like actual Monster Girl character that fails to have the appeal of a Monster Girl character. Crossette, A tier. She's adorable. Love all the fireworks and traditional Japanese style to her. She's just very fun design. Korra, D tier. She's a weird looking imp with a silly costume. Like, not silly in a good way, just silly in a why way. It's not even attractive. It's just weird. Not even going to show the back. The back is a lot worse. I mean, there's good ways they could have made it revealing, but they didn't do that. They did this. Ursula, S tier. She is the best designed Verblade in the game. I will not take any debate on this. You can debate any other placement on this entire list, but I will not accept any arguments about Ursula being the best. She's the cutest. She has a bear. It's weird that they never really discussed the fact that she's a blade with two blades that are part of her. I think that would come up at least once, considering something that happens near the ending. But yeah, she's just adorable. She has these ice flower things in her hair. I love that. She has see-through legs, something I only noticed when I did that video on how to buff the Knuckle Claw blades. I actually noticed that when taking a screenshot of her for the thumbnail of that video. But yeah, she's just perfect. She's adorable. D tier. No. Just no. Brona. A tier. She looks weird when not in battle, but when she is in battle, I really love all the wings that come out, the butterfly wings on her. So she looks very cool when she's actually engaged in battle. Perdido. C tier. Just not really too big of a fan of him. I do like how he's kind of General Grievous-like, but could have been more interesting. Sever. B tier. Cool lizard. Cressidas. So I was originally going to give him C tier, but I want to say maybe B tier instead. I mean, I already have the image that's going to be up with him in C tier, but I don't know, now that I'm looking at him again, pretty cool, so maybe enough for B tier. Anyway, that's it for all of the rare blades of Xenoblade 2. So the final tier list will be up on screen now for you to see where everything was placed. If you have any disagreements, leave those in the comments, except for Ursula. Do not disagree about Ursula's placement at the top. And if you want to see the other drip tier list I've done for Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 3, then you can check out the Xenoblade video playlist that also includes some other stuff that's up on screen now. And see you next time!